Good morning, students. Now, all of you see page number 28. I am reading new paragraph. The name of paragraph is The Coming of Socialism to Europe. So, students, try to understand and listen carefully. Perhaps one of the most far-reaching visions of how society should be structured was socialism. Far-reaching visions. One of the most important way to restructure society, that was socialism. Means radicals as well as liberals, now they wanted to change the format structure of society. So they were trying to find out one of the important way, and they finalized for using structure, and that was socialism. Means they were ready to adopt socialism. By the mid 19th century in Europe, socialism was a well-known body of ideas in European countries. When by the mid 19th century, in the middle of 19th century, socialism was well known, means it was famous. The idea of socialism, it was famous idea, and people they were ready to adopt, as well as the people they were attracted towards this idea also, that attracted widespread attention. Widespread attention means people, number of people, now they were attracted towards socialism, idea of socialism. So students, try to understand. Socialists were against private property. The people, the follower of socialism, they were against. It means they opposed private property and saw it as the root of all social ills. Social ills, that is important. Now, according to the follower of socialism, they believed that what was the ill of, means ills, so many problems are there in society, social ills. So private property means property which was controlled by some individuals, owned by some individuals, that was the root for creating so many problems of that time, of the time. Why? Individuals want the property that gave employment. The individuals, those who control property, so they give employment, jobs, etc. to laborers. But the property were concerned only with personal gain, but they provide jobs, employments. But what about profits after producing, after productions? So lot of profit, benefits. Who get benefit? Simply we can say industrialist, factory owners, private property owner, etc. So personal gain in their hands, and not with the welfare of those who made the property productive. Means those who were producing property, means increasing, those who are working. So they are getting very less amount of profit. So if society as a whole rather than single individuals control property, more attention would be paid to collective social interests. Social interests. So individuals as compare, individuals control property in place of. So property should be controlled by, we can say, the society. Collective social interest, that is important. Socialists, socialist means follower of socialism, wanted this change. Now they wanted to change like this. Property should be controlled by workers, by society, etc. And campaigned means they started so many movements also for it, for this change. Now students, I am reading this paragraph. Try to understand. How could a society without property operate? Means to operate society, to run society, we need capital. So how can socialist people, they could collect money, capital? What would be the basis of socialist society? Means they wanted to establish, they wanted to, we can say, the restructure society, but on which basis? We'll write. Okay, students, try to understand. We will read in this paragraph. Socialists had different visions of the future. Now, follower of the socialism, socialist people, now they had different ideas about the restructure of society, as well as the, we can say, the about the future. Some believed in the idea of cooperatives. Some followers, some socialists, they believed in the cooperatives. So what is the cooperatives? Cooperatives, the people will get, okay, now people, group of people, now after coming together, now they form organization, or they establish industry, etc., factory, etc., on the basis of cooperative ideas. So some believed in this idea, cooperatives idea. Robert Owen, 1771 1858, a leading English manufacturer, producer. So who was Robert Owen? A leading English manufacturer, sought to build a cooperative community. Now he tried to establish one of the community, cooperative community, called, now name of this cooperative community was New Harmony in Indiana, USA. Now he established one of the cooperative community by this name. He tried. Other socialist people felt that cooperatives could not be built on a wide scale. Now some people, some follower, they did not believe that. Means they were not in favor of the cooperatives ideas. They thought that only cooperatives could not be built on a wide scale. We cannot complete, okay, we cannot reach up to our goal. Scale only through individual initiative. Individual initiative means individual people. If we try like this, Robert Owen, he tried to establish community. So individual. So not only individual. So some followers, socialist people, they demanded that governments encourage cooperatives. Now they demanded for the government also supported for the establishment of the cooperatives, whatever the factories, industries, on that basis. In France, for instance, for example, Louis Blanc, underline Louis Blanc, 1813 1882. Louis Blanc wanted the government to encourage cooperatives and replace capitalist enterprises. Capitalist enterprises means enterprises, business, the business, factories, industries which were owned and controlled by individuals. So he wanted to replace, government should replace and encourage cooperatives and replace capitalist enterprises. These cooperatives were to be associations. Now, the meaning of cooperatives. What is the cooperatives? Cooperatives were to be associations, group of people. Cooperatives means associations of people who produce goods together. Now they came together, they gathered. Why? To produce goods and divided the profits after production. So profit, whatever they get profit. Now profit which is divided among people. Divided the profits according to the work done by members. According to work. According to now what they work. Share, their share as per their participation. Profits which is divided. Now I am reading this one. Try to understand. Karl Marx, underline Karl Marx, 1818 1883, and Friedrich Engels, underline both the name, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, 1820 1895. Both of them added other ideas. Karl Marx and Friedrich, now both of them, they added other ideas, their ideas to this body of arguments in this idea, in socialism. Now they added their own ideas. Marx urged, according to Marx, he said, what he said? That industrial society was capitalist. Industrial society means industry, factory, etc. How was this society? Capitalist, means controlled by the individuals. Capitalist want the capital invested in factories. So who invested capital in factories? By capitalist people, by the owner. And the profit of capitalist was produced by workers. But who produce? Actually, workers. Because of their efforts, because of their hard work. Now capitalist, some people now day by day they are earning lot of interest, lot of profit. They earn lot of. How? On the basis of, with the help of workers. That is important ideas which was added by Karl Marx. Was produced by workers. The conditions of workers could not improve as long as this profit was accumulated. Accumulated means here collected by private capitalists. Now, workers' conditions cannot be changed up to if the profit like this was collected by private capitalist, by some individuals. Workers had to overthrow capitalism. Workers, they had to change such a situation. And the rule of private property. Now they had to change this such a situation as well as the rule of private property. Marx believed that to free themselves from capitalist exploitations. Now They wanted to, we can say, the make free themselves. How? Now they wanted to free themselves from capitalist exploitations, from the exploitations. Workers had to construct a radically socialist society. Means how they could free from exploitations. So they had to establish their own society. Radically means new society, socialist society, where all property was socially controlled. Now in this society, new society, property, all property was controlled, socially controlled, means by all. This would be a communist society. The name was given, new society name, communist society. He was convinced that workers would triumph, means victory, workers' victory. At last, worker will win. Now, triumph in their conflict with the capitalist. Now, worker will win at last in this conflict against capitalist. A communist society was the natural society of the nature. Communist society, that was the best, important, natural society. Now, students, try to understand, and we'll read next paragraph in next clip.